Please welcome to the stage our next presenters, CCHR Commissioner Danny Masterson and Jason Doring.
The next award winner is Mikal Vega, a 22-year Navy veteran and former Navy SEAL. Known as the military's elite, the physical and mental training it takes to even become a SEAL is legendary. Beyond his rigorous physical training, mental discipline, and technological resources, it is his extraordinary innate force of will that ensures a SEAL's place amongst the pinnacle of elite warriors. Yet many of these elite warriors are being subverted, damaged, and killed once off the battlefield. And what's killing them is the drugs prescribed to them.
As Chief Petty Officer for the SEAL teams, Mikal was in charge of tactical operations. His deployments included missions in Iraq, Haiti, Bosnia, Kosovo, Zaire, and Albania. As a SEAL team leader, Mikal was twice awarded the Bronze Star Medal with Valor, the fourth highest military award given to an individual. He survived war, enemy fire, high-risk combat deployments, a roadside bomb that broke his neck, and was virtually indestructible. Until, as Mikal puts it, after 22 years of kicking death's ass, it was a cocktail of pills that nearly took me out. Through sheer willpower, he weaned himself off the drugs, and he began to realize just how many of his brothers were being drugged to death. He could not stop thinking about them. 2 years ago, when he finally ended his military career, he launched a new mission, a nonprofit organization called Vital Warrior. His passion is to help vets without the use of drugs, and his goal is a worldwide movement. Now an actor, Mikal uses his acting to help fund and promote Vital Warrior. He can be seen in such films as Transformers 3 and 4 and G.I. Joe Retaliation. He's one of the stars on the military action web series Black. In his own words, this is his story.
Leading SEALs in combat was the greatest honor of my life. I'm working with the best of human potential in serving my country. My father was a SEAL, and so I literally grew up in the SEAL teams. I had that around me the whole time I was growing up. I didn't know what it was when I was a child, but I knew I wanted to be like my dad. He was like Batman to me, you know? So I wanted to be Batman, you know? So I went and did that. And just to work with all those amazing talents, it was the most powerful thing that I think I've experienced in my life. Never again will I have that level of human potential, you know, working with me, ever. The amount of training that goes into it, the mentality to be able to withstand that type of training for those prolonged periods of time, to do the type of missions that we do as SEALs is just, it can't be described. They're brothers. They're brothers. And they made my job so easy as a leader because they were so capable. I love those men that I was working with. I had a hard time for a long time when I was, you know, recovering from combat-related stress due to guilt. Guilt that the men that went before me, some of them didn't come back. In particular, my swim buddy. The swim buddy is a guy that goes through SEAL training with you. And he was killed in Iraq. And that hit me hard. Like, we've lost a lot of SEALs in combat, but that one was by far the hardest blow for me. I had this guilt, like I hadn't done enough. I hadn't given enough of myself. That I look back in retrospect, that at the time I felt like death was the only thing that would be enough. I couldn't stop my mind from going. It was like I came back and I was just like, ugh. I was charged, like the silence was literally deafening. It was just like, I couldn't sleep. I was literally up for 4 days at a pop. For some reason, they gave me amphetamines to help me sleep. They had a psychiatrist come to the command. I went and saw this guy as one of the first guys that, went and saw the psychiatrist. But that wound up with me being on more medications. I was on Vicodin, I was on Adderall, I was on Prozac, I was on, I don't know the name of the sleeping pills. I was on this anti-anxiety medication to offset the the effects of the antidepressants, and then they kept changing the antidepressants because of the effects. I didn't know what was going on. I just kept doing what they were telling me to do. Heart's racing, I'm sweating, and like I felt like I was looking through a straw, and I'm standing there, and like the students came up to me and they're like, "Are you okay, Chief?" And I was like, they're like, "You look gray." And I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm dying. I'm just gonna go get it over with." Literally, I was like, "Oh, finally," So I went and laid down, and the corpsman that we had out there was just like, "Oh, what do you want me to do?" I was like, "Nothing, nothing. Just leave it. Just picture up like a ear of corn, the husk on an ear of corn with no corn in it. It's all dried up in the back of a black car in the middle of the summer, and just brittle and hollow and absolutely devoid of any caring for anything. Like, you can't even shower. You can't shower. You can't even and that's not it wasn't depression. I can't even call it depression, because there's something so much more abysmal than that. No wonder men are killing themselves. Women are killing themselves. Because these pills have everybody depleted. I felt like my soul was gone. Like I was just a body. Like with nothing in it. I knew after I was almost killed by pills that the stuff that these psychiatrists were doing wasn't working, obviously. Unless, of course, they were trying to kill me, which they don't have any idea what they're doing, or they do, and they're doing it very well. If they're trying to kill our military, if they're trying to kill off any voice or anybody that doesn't fall in line, they want a bunch of zombies that they can, easily control, then it's working. The thing that got me off of them was, your shit's not working. And I am so sick of seeing you. You telling me to do something, I knew at that point, it almost killed me. It's the only time that anybody ever tested my hormonal levels was when I got out. And I paid for it myself. And that's when things started to work. And now, after I've come through this gauntlet, I can see more clear. I can see that there was a bigger purpose than combat. Combat was a necessity for me to do what it is I do now with Vital Warrior. The system that I use with Vital Warrior is a is a powerful, non-pharmaceutical system for hormonal rebalancing. So you can start relaxing, you can start detoxifying, you can start increasing your health. Once you sleep, everything else starts to come back into focus. When I sit there and I watch my brothers suffer, I watch them. I just came back from watching this, and I watch how much pain they're in, and how they try to cope with it, and how they try to deal with it. To the veteran, Vital Warrior is the answer to the question that you've been asking. Letting them know, kind of like a lighthouse, letting them know that there's land close by. If they're seeing that, then they know that there's a place that they can drive that broken ship into, and they'll be safe. We can repair everything there. We blog, reach out to them through the website. We get information out. We just try broadcasting. That is why I'm still alive, is to fight this new fight. That is my purpose, is to fight this fight, to know and inspire them that there is another way other than the pharmaceutical path. Because that's never a way. That will never be a way. The psychiatry and the pharmacology that they irresponsibly exact upon our military is a direct subversion of what their true power is. That they're taking away, pill by pill.
Mikal Vega.
Thank you. 7 years ago, I found myself in Iraq fighting for the dream of a nation that wanted liberty from oppression. They wanted freedom. And it wasn't until I returned that I realized that the fight had just begun. The psychiatrist told my wife that I would be on pills my whole life. Not that they actually might cause my death. When I began applying the science behind the ancient technology of Kundalini Yoga, I began to change on a fundamental level. I began to realize the truth, that we don't have to be victims of our past, and we don't need to have to be a prisoner of our memories, that we can actually conquer and control them. And cultivating and teaching this ability to others is what became the essence of Vital Warrior. And today, for me, the battlefield has completely changed. And instead of me fighting for a nation in need of liberation, I'm engaged in a war against the lethalness of ignorance. And it's an ignorance that psychiatrists rely upon that has us programmed to believe that what we need is something other than ourselves to make us whole. That we need a psychiatrist in a pill. This is a form of slavery. Psychiatric drugs condition us to live with fear, to live with anxiety and depression, but never to overcome and remove them. And they never give us the resolve to seek out the underlying physical problems that could be manifesting as a mental phenomena. The truth is that real strength comes from persevering through adversity, and this will never occur through the use of poison under the guise of psychiatric assistance. And when I started all this, I thought that I was alone in this fight, like it was my sole charge to take on the pharmaceutical industries. But I want to thank Marla and all of CCHR for showing me how mistaken I was. I finally found my new team. I would like to thank God for my life's experiences that have culminated into this incredible, remarkable evening of confirmation. And for my exquisite wife, Simona, my teammate on this journey. Thank you for sticking with me through all of those character-defining moments. That was a rough job, by the way. Even in the darkest of times. Lastly, I would like to thank all of you that support CCHR because they, like Vital Warrior, have a vital mission. And I accept this award on behalf of all those veterans that needlessly died at the hands of psychiatrists. We stand here tonight united in our efforts to protect all life from the poison of psychiatry. And the fight continues. And I, like each one of you, must continue to live by this motto: if we never quit, we can never fail.